Mew had been discovered in the jungles of Guyana, South America. It was on July 5th when scientists finally uncovered the truth. Mewtwo was created from Mew's DNA by the lab workers, and it was intended to be a clone with enhanced powers, but produced into a different, bigger character. Mewtwo had a complex personality and was aggressive, as well as independent. Mew is peaceful and playful, representing a gentler side of the Pokemon world. Mew and Mewtwo's relationship shows a balance of creation and destruction. The original mythical symbolizes innocence, while Mewtwo seeks power and control. Though Mew is smaller, it is content with its natural abilities and freedom. In the Pokemon Mansion, there were Mewtwo statues with secret switches on them. If both Pokemon are brought to the glass tank where Mewtwo was created, they have special dialogue. Team Rocket stole the DNA sample and used it to make a stronger clone of Mewtwo in hope to create the most powerful Pokemon ever. Unfortunately for them, Mewtwo is far too powerful and destroys the lab. Giovanni tricked Mewtwo into training with him to harness his power. Shifting to the tower duo Lugia and Ho-Oh. About 700 years before the events of Pokemon Gold and Silver, people of Ecruteak City built two 9-story towers. They were hoping to foster friendship between Pokemon and humans. The two towers were known as the Brass Tower and Bell Tower. While the West Tower was said to awaken Pokemon, the East Tower was for Pokemon who could stop by and rest. Both these towers were home to Lugia and Ho-Oh. Lugia had Brass Tower while Ho-Oh had the Bell Tower. For a while, there was peace and a close bond between the people and the tower duo, but 550 years later, tragedy struck. While Lugia was sleeping, there was a lightning storm that struck the Brass Tower, engulfing it in flames for 3 days. Lugia attempted to use wings to stop the flames, but it put Ecruteak City in even more danger. Instead, the legendary tried to use rain, however, it was too late, and 3 nameless Pokemon died in the fire. Fortunately though, Ho-Oh came down from the sky and it used its power to revive them. The trio were reborn as the legendary beasts. Although the people were amazed, they were also fearful of Ho-Oh's manipulation of life, which is why Ho-Oh and the 3 legendary dogs, they fled far away. Lugia also flew away, choosing to live in the ocean, eventually settling into Whirl Islands. The Brass Tower was never repaired, turning into the Burn Tower. It was left as a reminder of what could be lost and regained. But when a trainer who could touch the soul of a Pokemon appears, Ho-Oh will return from the heavens to the Bell Tower. As for Lugia, it will come back only if someone has a pure heart and trust. Next up, we have another iconic pair, Latias and Latios, the Eon duo. Still a debate on whether they are lovers or siblings. Both have very high intelligence, being able to sense human emotions. Latios reads intentions, he knows when someone means harm. And Latias mirrors feelings. If you're calm, she's calm. But if you're scared, she'll protect you with her life. In the anime, they were guardians of the town Alto Mare. Latios and Latias had protected the city using Soul Dew. This isn't just any relic. It holds tons of psychic energy, enough to drown entire cities, if misused. The Soul Dew had been formed from the soul of a dead Latios. The Pokemon had sacrificed himself, being the protective guardian spirit. They could also be classified as the Dream Pokemon, since Latios and Latias can deceive their opponents by becoming invisible. In the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, there were messages carved out saying all dreams are but another reality. Never forget. The Eon duo was also in the Dream Yard of Pokemon Black and White, fitting more of its mysterious vibe. As the legends continue, 2 more names rise from the shadows, Cresselia and Darkrai, the Lunar duo. Cresselia is based on the crescent moon, and Darkrai on a new moon. Both of their abilities cause disruptions in people's sleep, one being sweet dreams while the other provides deadly nightmares. The feelings between the 2 Pokemon are based on a folktale of Altair and Vega. Their love was forbidden and they were banished on opposite sides of the Milky Way celestial river. But once a year, all the magpies in the world fly up and build a bridge between them so that the 2 lovers can be united for one day. The Lunar Wing was the main element that cured Darkrai's nightmares. One situation from the Diamond and Pearl sailor's son, he was in a deep sleep and he couldn't be woken up and he was feeling ill, but the Lunar Wing was supposed to be the cure for his illness. There's also a situation in Black and White 2 with the strange house, where the girl was in a deep coma and the parents couldn't save her, it was too late. Because they couldn't find the Lunar Wing, she ended up just becoming a ghost. Cool thing is that the Full Moon and New Moon Island are direct mirror images of each other. On the other hand, not all legendary duos are conflicted in Sinnoh. There are the Sea Guardians. They have some similarities to the Mew duo. Instead of an unnatural, stronger version, Fiona is a natural, weaker version of Manaphy. Manaphy got temporarily taken care of by Trainer May, and he was also born on a cold seafloor. 80% of its body is made out of water, and this Pokemon is based on an animal named Cleone, which is actually a sea slug. They're small and transparent, allowing you to see their internal organs. Sometimes these animals are referred to as sea angels, which is very fitting as Manaphy and Fiona are the sea guardians. Fiona lives on warmer seas and will inflate its pouch on the head to drift in water in search of food. When the water grows warm, it will drift in packs with other members of its species. The duo always swims back to their place of birth, no matter how far they drifted. The sea guardians are capable of breeding, but could only breed with Ditto and only produce Fiona. That means Manaphy can breed with Ditto for an infinite amount of times, but will never come out to be Manaphy. Moving on to the next duo called Legendary Heroes. They have good synergy with the sword being its shield. Since they both share steel as their secondary type, the two are commonly referred to as the warrior Pokemon. Zacian and Zamazenta were believed to be born far beyond the slumbering Weald. They are either siblings or rivals. The legendary heroes have lived in the Galar region, secretly protecting the people from outside threats. But while the region is safe, both reside in an ancient altar deep within the slumbering Wealds, which are in the form of statues in the middle of the lake. 20,000 years ago, a meteorite containing Eternatus crashed into the Galar region. Zacian and Zamazenta used their powerful weapons to fight it off. However, the duo faced injuries like one missing a piece of its ear, and their armors are completely breaking down. It left them in a significantly weakened state. Eternatus came back later and caused the darkest day. In the end, Eternatus was defeated with the help of the main character and Hop. As time went on, Zacian and Zamazenta were forgotten by history, causing other stories to come up. Statues of the two Pokemon got buried behind a mural showing the wrong myth. It was rumored to be dangerous. The truth behind the legend was discovered by Sonia. It was eventually published in a book and became a point of disagreement between two brothers. They were Swordard and Shieldbird, who claimed to be descendants of the old kings. Finally, we get to the Paradox duo from Scarlet and Violet. They originated from different points of time and are counterparts to Cyclizar. Like all Paradox Pokemon, Koraidon and Miraidon have unclear origins. They could have come from the past and future, or from different timelines entirely. It was first discovered 200 years ago within the Great Crater of Paldea, which was during the Area Zero expedition. 10 years ago, Professor Sada and Turo planned to create a machine to bring Pokemon from other timelines to their own. They succeeded in building a time machine through the use of Terrapagos' energy and instructions from Bayer's book. The professors brought their very first Paradox Pokemon to the Zero Lab, Koraidon and Miraidon. Sada and Turo had hopes that Pokemon from other time periods could live in harmony with the ones that are living in the present. In the beginning, the legendary Pokemon were friendly and active, residing with Arven, but it was eventually returned to Area Zero, in fear that its presence would create too much attention. The professor did actually succeed in creating a second Miraidon and Koraidon from the time machine, but it was way more violent and tried to attack the original Paradox Pokemon. Sada or Turo, depending on which version it was, tried to protect the legendary, but died. The first Koraidon and Miraidon were defeated and escaped Area Zero, being stranded near Inlet Grotto, losing all of its powers in the process. Now that was heavy. There are a lot of deep stories when it comes to legendary duos. I also have another lore video featuring every legendary trio, and see you in the next one.